So I wanted to start with my view out my favorite room. This is my meditation room, and it's May 20th, and we got the craziest snowstorm, and we got like all winter snow in 2 days. So it's really beautiful and windy, and the aspens are starting to bloom. This is like one of my favorite spaces in my home, and I just kind of wanted to show you like the outside first. And this is where I do a lot of my writing and meditation and just finding quiet. So I have my little writing station and all my candles and my mirror. And of course my plants. I'm a total plant fanatic, so you will see them everywhere. And this is my altar. My grandmother's, my mama, and me back there. And of course my forest collections, and I always have like an offering bowl because everyone that comes to my house and walks in the forest always picks up stuff and brings it to me, and so I have bowls around the house where I keep those offerings, and they're very special to me. My dry herb rack, some of my books. And there's just lots of candles and cozy spots in this space to play and do mirror work. And of course, I'm always changing it and always doing something different. But yeah, this is like my quiet, sacred space. So I wanted to start here because this is probably the place that I spend the most like reflection time. Usually when I'm in my studio space where I'm creating my art, I'm way more, I don't know, like different energy, I guess. A little more high energy. And this is just a spot where I really try and find peace and quiet and just be me. Okay, so we'll move from this space and I'll kind of show you my basement. Do a quick little living room. My plant collection. This is another hobby of mine that I love. All my old books. And I use a lot of these books in my collage work, in my art. And this is the basement. So when we moved in here, we were thinking this was going to be like a rec room, and I wanted lots of spaces in this house for cozy naps and reading. And as it turns out, I had this perfect little tiny space when we first moved in, and I have since grown out of this, but I still love this little intimate area. And I do a lot of some of my quieter journaling in these small spaces. My journals. I did this, I think this whole journal is my heart portal with Anka Gray. amazing facilitator and teacher, and I just love her. So that was my book. So I do a lot of that kind of work in this space. And I have my little clothesline out there and my birds. I have this mood board, which I have not taken apart in a very long time. I think I put this up when we moved in 3 years ago, and it's kind of stayed, and it's ready for a reset, I think. Just some more art that I've made or was gifted to me. My little rusty bits. And I try not to clean up too much because that was really hard for me. It's usually pretty chaotic. Of course, if you're a creative, you know, like the creative process is never pretty. This is one of my walls of my collections and things I've made in classes that I've taken, and just some of my favorite pieces, my little collections and things I've picked up in the forest. Of course, I have a beautiful view out this walkout too of the mountains and the birds. So this table is where I do most of my filming. I just have a really simple setup. It's pretty bright in here, and when it's sunny out, I get a lot of natural light coming in through the windows. So I just have one studio light that I picked up on Amazon a long time ago, and it works well with the addition of the natural light. And I also have this little light too that I use, and then I just did that for my camera. And then here's another journal that I'm currently working in. It's an altered book. Lots of goodness, texture-y pages. And so that's all my little bits and things that I process over and over again. And this is kind of a stack of some things I'm collecting for a new class. And I kind of just start piles, and sometimes they become something, and most of the time they're just stacked or filed away. And this is my mood board from the last I think it's been up for about 18 months, and it's pretty like full. I have lots of layers, and it's time for me to take this down and turn it into probably a book and reset. Here's another little area where I collect my little forest and nature walk stuff, and here's some art from my lessons in fodder school, and that kind of piles up quickly. And then I have just some pieces that I take out every once in a while and mark on. And this is a kitchen table for my old house. It was actually a dining room table, and we don't have a dining room in this house. And so it works well for a work station. And I ended up putting it on some blocks because I needed it a little higher for my filming. But I just do what works, and things kind of find their way to me. Like this big bookcase, I actually thrifted, and I love it. I walked into the thrift store and I was like, no way. And it came home with me, and it's been really great for all my collections. And my little inspiration jars. I have lots of baskets of just worked papers and things I take out and rework. That's a basket I got at Jeanne Oliver's. It's awesome. And then this is kind of my stash of journals that I'm working in right now. And there's a lot of stuff going on. I kind of went through a little bit of a thing this winter, and I need to go through all my stuff again and kind of recommit or reconnect, I guess, with my practice. And that will be fun because it'll be kind of an excavation. I made a lot of things, but I didn't really, I was having a hard time. And I see, now that I look and see all of the things that I made, I mean, I tuck things in my little baskets, and I can take this out and work in it. But I see that I have a lot of things that I processed through and that I worked on and that I made that helped me get through that time. And I kind of am excited to excavate that and revisit it and learn from it. But always just lots of dyed fabrics and papers. Conveniently, my laundry room is down here too, so I can always throw a little laundry in and work on art and housework at the same time, so that's kind of nice. And this is like my favorite thing. I love the sewing machine and I use it a lot. And this is another book that I'm working in. That was a collaboration I'm doing with someone. But yeah, this is my space and I love it, and it changes. And you know, when we moved into this home, we had a lot of plans to rip out the carpet and redo a bunch of stuff, and we haven't gotten there yet. With everything that's happened in the world in the last few years, we've kind of had to put the brakes on and readjust, and like so many of us have. And so we will get to the renovations someday. But for now, I just love this space, and this is my happy place, and it brings me a lot of joy.